Welcome to this YouTube channel. In this video we are going to talk about 42 best life hacks. So before starting this video, like this video and subscribe to our channel for future updates. Number 42. Hydration of the plant in a healthy state. The accumulation of water at the bottom of pots can cause root rot. To combat this issue, cut up old sponges and place them in the bottom of the pot with the other ingredients. The sponges help to maintain moisture while also providing sufficient airspace. They also aid in preventing water from flushing out the bottom of the container. The sponge acts as a water reserve, allowing the soil to remain moist for a longer period of time. Number 41. Your shoes will appear to be brand new. With an old toothbrush and a little toothpaste, you can restore your worn-out sneakers to their former glory. When it comes to cleaning white-soled sneakers, non-gel white toothpaste works wonders. Colored toothpaste may stain rather than clean sneakers. Using an old toothbrush, apply toothpaste to the dirty spots and gently massage the paste into the surface. Wait 10 minutes after putting the toothpaste on the shoes before wiping it off with a damp towel. If necessary, the procedure should be repeated. In addition to keeping your smile in excellent condition, toothpaste is also extremely useful for cleaning around the house. Take a look at these 50 creative uses for toothpaste that you probably didn't know existed. Number 40. Grass shoot protector for lawnmower. I like to mow as close as possible to trees and buildings in order to avoid a lot of string trimmer work in the future. However, the grass chute on my riding mower prevents this from happening. As a result, I drilled a hole in the chute and tied a rope from the chute to a handle on the tractor's side. I can now lift the chute without missing a beat, and I can significantly reduce the amount of string trimmer work I do. Number 39. How to make long-lasting sandpaper. I do a lot of finish sanding freehand, without the use of a sandpaper block, so that I can get into nooks and crannies and smooth out edges. However, the finer grits are typically bonded to thinner paper, and, at least in my experience, the paper is too thin and ends up tearing long before the grit wears out completely. As a result, I tape a piece of duct tape to the back of the sandpaper. The sandpaper is still flexible enough to sand around a tight radius, and it is significantly more durable than the previous version. You can use this super strong sandpaper as a shoe shine rag, says the manufacturer. Number 38. Make use of this simple hack to keep your phone's charger longer. Try out this simple hack to extend the life of your otherwise fragile phone charger beyond a couple of weeks. The first step is to remove the spring from a pen. Stretch one end of the spring out a little more so that it can be wrapped around the charger cable. Depending on the situation, pliers may be required. Turn on your computer and wind your spring around the cable until it is completely on the charger cable. After that, cut a piece of heat shrink tubing to the appropriate size and slip it over the phone charger and spring. To shrink the heat shrink tubing, use a lighter to warm it until it conforms to the charger and the spring. With this simple hack, you can prevent the cord from fraying further or even from fraying in the first place. Number 37. Sweep up glass in an effective and safe manner. Everyone who has ever swept the floor with a standard broom and dustpan is familiar with the annoyance of a line of dust running across the floor. Whatever you do, no matter how many times you try to sweep it up, the line will not disappear. The front of the dustpan should be taped to the floor with blue painter's tape in order to prevent any residue from being left on the floor, and the line should disappear. In addition to sealing and covering the gap between the floor and your pan. Number 36. Construct your own ice pack. Using ice packs to keep your lunch cool is a great idea, but they can be quite expensive, especially if you have a bad habit of losing them. Because this DIY ice pack hack is reusable, it is also beneficial to the environment as a whole. To begin, purchase a low-cost package of sponges or simply use some old ones you have lying around the house. Make sure you have a large enough bowl of water to allow the sponges to completely absorb all of the water they can. To store the sponges after they have been soaked, place each sponge in a small sandwich bag with a zip closure. These bags are useful for two reasons. First and foremost, as the ice melts, the bag keeps the water contained, preventing it from making a mess in your lunch bag. Second, keeping the water contained allows the melted sponge to reabsorb the water, allowing it to be ready to be refrozen the following day. Now, freeze the sponges that have been wet and bagged overnight. Nothing more complicated than tossing an ice pack into your lunch container in the morning. Number 35. Car mats you can make yourself. One simple way to keep your car clean is to cut scraps of old carpet to fit the floor of the vehicle and use them as floor mats for it. At Home Depot, we were able to get our carpet scraps for less than $2. And when the DIY carpet scraps inevitably become soiled with mushy winter snow or sand during the summer, you can either wash them or toss them out and start over. A word of caution: do not install these DIY car mats on the driver's side of the vehicle unless they have grippers attached to the bottom side to prevent the mat from sliding forward while driving. Number 34. How to remove dents from wood. Dents in wood surfaces can be a source of irritation. But don't worry, they can be repaired. Simply soak a washcloth in water and wring it out a little to ensure it is not completely saturated. Apply a damp washcloth to the affected area to soothe it. The water will wick through the wood, which is perfectly acceptable. Using your iron on its highest setting, iron the damp washcloth over the affected area in small circular motions back and forth and around the ironing board. Continue pressing down firmly on the washcloth until it is completely dry. It won't take long for it to dissipate. It is at this point that the wood fibers are absorbing the water and should have returned to their original position. Continue this process, adding more water each time, until the dents have risen to the level of the rest of the surface material. Number 33. Hack for staple remover. A staple remover has perfectly sized, thin teeth that are ideal for sliding between the rings of a key ring with relative ease. When you clamp them down, the key rings are spread apart, making it easier to slide a new key onto the key ring. The time and effort spent trying to pry open the key ring with your nails will be avoided. Number 32. Water bottle caps can be used to support a tension rod. The clothes that my wife makes for the kids are hung in the closet with the help of a curtain tension rod. A few days later, she explained to me that the pole was frequently slipping and falling to the ground. As a result, I went on a search and discovered an object that could be screwed into the wall and would fit around the ends of the tension rod: bottle caps from water bottles. I used drywall screws to secure 2 water bottle caps into studs in the closet walls, and then I installed the tension rod inside the bottle caps to keep them from falling out. The lip on each cap provides just enough support for the tension rod to keep it from falling down anymore, says the author. Number 31. Use car wax to protect your snow shovel. It can be frustrating enough to shovel snow, but when heavy snow sticks to the shovel or freezes in clumps, it can make the job even more difficult. It is possible to avoid this problem by first coating your shovel with car wax before heading out to clear your driveway and walkways. This tip is most effective when used with metal shovels. Follow the application instructions on the car wax package to ensure proper application. To apply car wax, a thin layer is applied with a damp cloth, allowed to dry, and then buffed off with a dry cloth to remove any remaining residue. Because of this, the shovel is clean and lubricated, and the snow and ice will not stick to it. Number 30. Locate your misplaced items. Everyone has experienced the frustration of being unable to locate a dropped pill or the back of an earring after several tries. So, what is the best way to locate these items quickly and easily? Make use of your vacuum. What you should do is cut the end of a nylon hose and secure it to the end of your vacuum hose with a rubber band before turning on the vacuum. Take a look at these ingenious hacks and practical applications for rubber bands that go far beyond their original purpose. Number 29. Permanent marker on a dry erase board should be erased. Who hasn't made the mistake of writing on a whiteboard with a permanent marker by accident? Fortunately, it's less difficult to get rid of than you might think. Using a dry erase marker, simply draw over your permanent marker artwork, and then wipe the marks away with an eraser or a dry cloth. Your dry erase board will look and function like new. Number 28. With a penny, you can make your furniture straight again. Have a wobbly bench or table that needs shimming, but don't have the time to run to the home center for furniture feet? No need to be concerned. simply reach for your change. If you're in a hurry, you can use a coin to shim wobbly furniture. Attach the coin to the problem area with hot glue, adding additional coins if necessary to cover the entire area. Coins are an excellent temporary solution because they are available in a variety of thicknesses and cost less than $1. Number 27. Make a note on the washer's door. Before placing a load of clothes in your washing machine, use a dry erase marker to make a note on the lid of the machine about which items should not be placed in the dryer. In this way, whoever is in charge of switching the load from the washing machine to the dryer will know which items should be left out to dry on the line. When dry erase markers are used on most washing machine lids, the enamel finish is similar to that of a whiteboard, and the markers can be easily removed with a dry paper towel. Number 26. Magnetized drill exploitation. When I'm working on a project, I like to keep a supply of screws on hand at all times. How close is it? It's easy for me to just stick them to my drill. There are some drills that come with a magnetized portion that can be used for this purpose, but if yours doesn't, here's how to make one. Attach a rare earth magnet to the back of your drill and fasten it with a few screws to complete the project. I don't even need a tool belt for small jobs like this. Number 25. Sharpies that have died can be brought back to life. Dried out Sharpies aren't a major issue when it comes to workshop issues. However, they can be inconvenient when you can't find another one to use to mark your measurements or make notes on your project. The back of your permanent marker can be easily removed in order to bring your permanent marker back to life. While the procedure will vary depending on the brand of permanent marker used, for Sharpies, simply remove the back nib. After that, apply a few drops of isopropyl rubbing alcohol to the felt material on the inside of the container. Be sure to shake the marker a little to ensure that all of the rubbing alcohol has been absorbed. Because the solvent in which the ink is mixed dries out first, the pigment cannot flow freely and the ink becomes unusable. It will be almost as good as new after the felt has been allowed to absorb the rubbing alcohol for a couple of minutes. Number 24. A ceramic mug can be used to sharpen a knife or other cutting tool. In the bottom of nearly all ceramic coffee mugs is a flat, unglazed ring, which makes it the ideal surface for sharpening a dull knife or blade quickly. Moreover, in the event that you find yourself in the unfortunate situation of needing to sharpen a utility knife, pocket blade, or scissors but do not have access to a sharpening stone, you can simply flip over a ceramic coffee mug and use the outer edge of the bottom, which is not glazed, as an emergency sharpening stone. Run the blade across the bottom of the mug at a 45-degree angle, working your way from one end of the blade to the other, until the blade reaches the tip. After that, slide the blade downward in a single direction, keeping your fingers out of the way as you go about your business. Number 23. Pasta lighter. For the upcoming colder months, we're sure you're stocking up on sweet-smelling candles to make your home even cozier than usual. Nonetheless, even if your candles are burning too low to reach the wick, there's no reason to forego your favorite scent altogether. Rather than burning your fingers, light a piece of uncooked spaghetti instead of burning your fingers. Eventually, it will reach into those deep candles and burn for long enough to light the candles on Grandpa's birthday cake. Number 22. Getting rid of highlighter stains. Have you ever wished you could get highlighter marks out of a book? Lemon juice lightens the appearance of highlighter to the point where it is virtually undetectable. Cut a lemon in half and squeeze the juice out onto a cotton swab to make a paste. While rubbing the swab over the highlighted text, notice how the color fades away. Lemon juice from a squeeze bottle appears to work as well as freshly squeezed lemon juice. Although not quite as well on the pieces we tested, the mark is still difficult to remove, and the older the mark, the more difficult it is to remove. In addition, take a look at these insider cleaning tips from the pros. Number 21. Slow feeder for puppies. Due to the fact that my puppy was eating his food too quickly, he was vomiting it back up. As an alternative to purchasing a slow feed bowl, one drilled holes into a 12-in length of 2-in PVC pipe and then capped the ends. I fill the tube halfway with puppy food, and he has to roll it around in order for the food to fall out of the holes in the bottom. All of the food that my puppy requires is provided to him without the mess that results from eating too quickly. Make certain that the holes are large enough to allow the food to pass through. Number 20. Easily recognize your keys at a glance. It appears that the older I get, the more keys I have to carry around with me. I have a whole pocket full of keys between the car, the house, the shed, and the garage. To make it easier to locate my most frequently used keys, I paint both sides of the key head with a brightly colored nail polish to make them more visible. I use a different color for each key on the keyboard. When it comes to durability, nail polish is unbeatable, and you'll be surprised at how much longer it lasts than spray paint. Number 19. The water hose made of pool noodles. To fill a bucket that will not fit under your sink's faucet, take a pool noodle and wrap it around the handle. Set the bucket on the floor, slip the pool noodle over the faucet, and run it all the way down to the bottom of the bucket. Number 18. Maintain the freshness of the seeds. To ensure that your seeds remain fresh for the following year, store them in an airtight container with silica packets to prevent them from being contaminated. It is the silica packets that keep the seeds from germinating or becoming moldy. Number 17. Mirrors that do not fog up. With car wax, you can keep your bathroom mirror from fogging up after taking a hot shower. Application. Apply a small amount of car wax to the mirror and allow it to dry completely before buffing with a soft, dry cloth. Expert advice that can result in significant savings on your next bathroom remodel. Number 16. How to disinfect Legos in a simple manner. Germs thrive in the environment created by children's toys. If you have toys that can be washed, such as Legos, you can disinfect them in a snap with a dishwasher. To clean Legos in a hurry, do the following. Put the Legos in a laundry bag to keep them from getting out of hand. Continue to use your dishwasher as usual. However, remove the Legos from the drying cycle and allow them to air dry completely on a towel before continuing. This method is also effective for cleaning other types of treasures, such as seashells, dish brushes, rags, and sponges. Number 15. In minutes, you can revitalize your furniture. My son decorated his room with stickers from skate shops, arenas, and gumball machines, which he stuck on every piece of furniture. I wanted to use his furniture in the new guest room, but I didn't want the stickers on it anymore, so I removed them. I used a putty knife in conjunction with a hairdryer to soften the adhesive on all of the stickers before peeling them off. Some are more difficult to remove than others, but I was able to get them all off in a matter of hours. Number 14. Template for tape. With keyhole hangers, you can eliminate the guesswork involved in hanging picture frames, shelves, and other items. To begin, consider the following. Masking tape should be placed over the keyholes, and then the keyholes should be traced over with a pencil to create a template. Make sure the template is level before sticking it to the wall where you want the shelf to go. Remove the template after drilling the anchor holes or screwing it in place. Number 13. Remove wrinkles from your laundry with little to no effort. Forget about using a time-consuming iron or handheld steamer to remove wrinkles from a shirt or a pair of slacks. Put a few ice cubes or a wet washcloth in the dryer with your wrinkled clothes to prevent them from becoming even more wrinkled. As the ice melts and the water turns into steam, the wrinkles will be removed from the skin. This trick isn't as effective with heavier clothing, but it works wonders with silk and other lightweight fabrics. The best part is that you don't have to leave the dryer on for more than 10 minutes for it to do its job properly. Number 12. Using plants in a pot as a landscape design. Have you ever wished you could reorganize your garden after seeing how the mature plants appear in their final state? Here's a creative way to go about it. You'll need a group of pots that are all the same size so that they can nestle together. Put your plants in double-sized pots and then bury them at ground level to prevent weed growth. Change it up whenever you want by lifting out the top pot and replacing it with another. Additionally, this method is extremely effective for bringing plants indoors during the winter months. This method is excellent for quickly changing out seasonal plants, as well as for experimenting with different colors and plant placements without a lot of effort. Number 11. Start a fire with dryer lint. In order to properly build a fire, you must have tinder, easy to light material, kindling, finger-size sticks, and fuel available at all times, logs. Tinder is readily available to everyone. Dryer lint is just around the corner. For fire starters, I fill empty toilet paper tubes with dryer lint and place them in a fire. My dryer lint, logs, ignite quickly and easily, and they burn for a long enough period of time to light the kindling. And I don't have to resort to lighter fluid to accomplish this. Number 10. Phone stand made of zip tie. Using our smartphones to display images or instructional videos while working on a DIY project, most of us can refer to project plans or a photo for inspiration while working on the project. The only drawback to this method is that our phones do not stand on their own, making it difficult to look at the images while we are at work. Although you can make almost anything, including a smartphone, stand out from the crowd, nothing is as simple as wrapping zip ties around your phone, one on each side. To finish, simply tighten the zip ties until they are snug against the phone, with the zip tie heads facing down and close to the edge of your phone. You can now watch video instructions or look at project drawings without having to hold the device in your hands the entire time. Number 9. Keeping a secret cash reserve. There are times when I don't want to carry my wallet around with me. Take, for example, a trip to the beach, where I have to leave my belongings unattended while I go for a swim in the ocean. But I still need cash on hand for things like food, drinks, and other miscellaneous expenses. As a result, I converted an empty tube of lip balm into a hidden money stash. You could also use an empty stick of sunscreen to accomplish the same result. A long nail is ideal for digging out any remaining bits of lip balm, and a cotton swab is ideal for wiping away any waxy residue that may have accumulated. Number 8. Make your own drip waterer. Here's a simple method for converting any hose into a drip watering hose. Drill 1/8 inch holes every 2 inches and screw a cap to the end of the drill bit. Turn on the spigot and weave the hose around your plants. It's that simple. You'll have to experiment a bit to find the optimal configuration. I attached a programmable faucet timer to the hose to make watering even more convenient for me. Number 7. The ultimate added helping hand. Carrying a sheet of plywood on your own is inconvenient and taxing on your lower back. It has been my experience that the most effective method is to make a loop out of an 18-foot length of rope and wrap it around 2 corners. I can now use the rope as a handle to help me lift the weight. Number 6. Double the number of resealable bags you have. Sandwich-size bags can be transformed into snack-size bags using this innovative technique. Here's how you go about it. Slice the bag in half by heating an old butter knife with a lighter and cutting it in half. The edges of the 2 new bags are cauterized with the hot knife. The cauterized edges are just as strong as the edges that were factory sealed. Number 5. Suggestions for improvement. If you don't have access to an air compressor, you can use your shop vacuum to inflate your air mattresses or pool toys. Simply remove the top of a plastic squeeze bottle and attach the top to the hose of your vacuum cleaner. It is possible that you will have to use duct tape. Attach the hose to the vacuum's exhaust port after the top has been securely fastened to the hose. It will quickly deflate any inflatables you have. To deflate, connect the hose to the vacuum port and sucking the air out of the balloon. Number 4. Bumpers in the shape of picture frames. Placing small dots of hot glue on the back corners of picture frames will prevent them from slipping out of place and scratching the paint on the wall. The hot glue not only keeps the picture from moving, but it also keeps it away from the wall, which prevents scratches and nicks from occurring. Number 3. Carpet with a design on it. I used to believe that dropping a loaded paintbrush on the carpet meant that the carpet needed to be replaced, until a former foreman shared this helpful tip with me. Number 2. Picture frame. I'm a big fan of dry erase message boards, but most of the time they're a bit unattractive. As a result, I create message boards out of attractive picture frames. Take a picture frame and some paper and use them to create these message boards. As a result, I load my wheelbarrow with mulch and fill the buckets and pails with mulch. It makes little difference if some of the mulch misses the bucket and ends up in the wheelbarrow. What do you think of this video? Do let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video and want to hear from us again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.